What up everybody, Trail Mix or Latrell here back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the first time I went to jail. Alright, this took place back in New Orleans, back in like 8th grade. It was on Thanksgiving Day, I remember, and what happened was, alright, I've been smoking all day, like my ass high as fuck, and like the street that I live on, it's known for drugs, let's just say that. They had like a few crack houses on my street. So one one unlucky day, one unlawful day for Latrell. I was it was Thanksgiving. We just got finished eating. And it wasn't many people at my uncle's house. Like, keep in mind I'm at my uncle's house. Wasn't many people here. It was just me, him, his girlfriend, and his girlfriend's daughter. Well, he just get finished rolling a blunt, like one fat ass blunt of gas. Like this is like Gorilla Glue, like that stanky stank. Well, I'm trying, like, before we smoke it, he asks us where we want to smoke it at. I say the back porch. Well, this nigga wants to go on the front porch. And so that's what we do. So, we go on the front porch. It's just me and him out there. And he lights up the blunt. And he's smoking it and shit like that. And then he passes it to me. And so, I start smoking the blunt and shit like that. And then out of nowhere, they got like 3 or 4 cars that pulled up to this crack house, and they hopped out, knocking on the door, telling them to come out and stuff like that. Well, I'm over here thinking, that some crackheads are about to get beat up. Well, while all this is happening, my uncle runs inside to get his girlfriend, to tell her to come outside and watch. Well, all while that's happening, I'm still sitting there smoking the blunt. And one of the niggas that hopped out the car walks up to the porch and says, uh, fuck, what do he say? He walks up to the porch and he says, and he asks me if I'm smoking weed or not. And well, while he's asking me that, my uncle walks outside, and then he asks us which one of us is smoking weed. And I said, why, you trying to buy some? And he looks at me and he sees the blunt right there in my hand, and he tells me to stand up. And I stood up, and he pulls out some handcuffs. So as soon as he done that, I'm like, oh hell no. And my ass already over there freaking out and shit like that. Well, whenever he pulls out the handcuffs, that's whenever my mama is just not coming home from work. She's walking over there to see me, and she sees all this happening and shit like that. So she's over there freaking out. And what it turns out to be is that these niggas are cops. All right, I didn't know they was cops because they pulled up in cars dressed in it wasn't even dressed in cop uniforms. They were dressed in regular street clothes. So I didn't know that there was police officers and shit like that. Well, they pull out the handcuffs and they go to put them on my fucking hands and shit like that, and I try and pulling away from them, and my mama's over there telling me not to resist and shit like that. So I'm just listening to her, and they arrest me, and they sit me on the back of a truck that one of them pulled up in. And what they did was they took me to the station. It was one long, awkward car ride to the police station. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sitting there asking them questions about who they think is gonna win in the Super Bowl or not. But we get to the station and shit like that, and they run my name and ask me where I'm from and shit like that, doing my paperwork. And then they took me to the juvenile center, Rivard, and then they set me up in there for like a few hours. And while I'm up in there, they took my fingerprint and they took my mugshot, and they set me at a computer and made me answer like 50 questions. And probably like an hour after that, my mom and dad came to get me. And yeah, that day sucked. Kind of one of my worst Thanksgivings. It fucking sucked up there in jail, bro. I swear, like, the whole time I was sitting up in the cell, I was thinking of all the things I could be doing. I'm sitting up in that cell like, damn, I could be at home playing Fortnite, smoking a blunt right now, but instead I'm sitting up in this fucking cell. And there was one small ass fucking cell too. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that shit was fucking boring as hell. So yeah, don't go to jail, kids. But that's it for my story. Y'all have good day, I guess, or good night, wherever y'all watching this from. Leave a like and subscribe. Share the video with friends so I can get YouTube famous. You feel me? But yeah, goodbye.